Hi, welcome back to Mel's Health. I'm Mel and it's always lovely to have you here. So today I'm not really following on from anything because I'm still waiting for a bunch of results to come through on the last round of tests and scans that I've had. So as I hadn't prepared anything in full for this week, I thought I'd just do something on the fly and thought it would be good to do a video on some top tips for being in recovery from pulmonary embolism. So basically this is just going to be about 5 top tips that I think are useful and what I've found especially useful over the last 9 months. If you're in recovery from a blood clot, or maybe you have a clotting disorder or deficiency, or even if you're suffering the long-term fatigue symptoms from having long COVID, then hit the subscribe button. I'm here every single week just giving you my experiences of being in recovery from PE and sharing what I've learned. Okay, so top tips. Tip number 1, keep a record of everything that's going on with you. When I was first discharged from hospital, I just randomly opened a Google Drive document one day and started writing down everything that happened and things that I was still feeling. So at some point on most days, I would just write down how I'd felt that day, where my pain was, anything that was different, things I'd done that day, and if I was finding it difficult or hard, like taking a walk to the shop. When time goes by and you kind of dealing with something every single day, it's hard to remember how things were at the beginning and specifically what you were feeling. When I go for my reviews at the thrombosis clinic, my doctor always asks me if the pain that I'm feeling is something new or more severe. And it's quite hard to remember all the way back to last May and everything that I was feeling and where the pains were. But just before my last appointment, I had a little read through all the things that I'd written in my written record from last year and noticed that I'm actually feeling quite a lot of the same things, like the pain is located in the same area. And although it does change in severity most days, it's actually quite consistent. So this gives the doctor some good information and they've got a lot to go on if they were trying to figure out what's next on your care plan and what treatment to give you. So I definitely say tip number 1, keep a record of everything going on for you. It doesn't have to be massively in depth. I've never been one for keeping a diary or a journal and I just did a couple sentences a day and that was enough. Tip number 2, keeping organised with your medication. So recently I made a couple of TikTok videos about how I keep my medications organised after seeing so many comments on online forums about people forgetting a dose or maybe taking one too soon and it causing them a lot of anxiety about what could possibly happen to them. So firstly, I keep all my meds together in this little box. I didn't have so many pill bottles when I was just on Eliquis, but now that I'm on warfarin, I have so many different size pills as the dose is forever changing based on my INR. And if you need more information about that, then you can see the video that I made previously all about blood thinners. So initially I was on Eliquis and that just required me to take a 5 ml tablet, one in the morning, one in the evening. So to keep organised, I grabbed one of these, a pill organiser, and I could just lay out my medication for the week by putting 2 pills in each day and then knowing that throughout the day, if I had that kind of whoosh feeling of I've taken my meds, I could check and I would see that if one of the pills was missing, then I definitely took my dose for that day. Since being on warfarin, it's only 1 dose a day, but the amount constantly changes based on my INR. And at one point I was on different doses for different days. So Monday to Friday I was taking 7 and Saturday and Sunday I was taking 8. And then because of the different size of the pills, I'd have to use a pill splitter to make up the actual right dose and make sure I was taking the right dose on the right day. Now I'm on 10 ml every day except Saturday where I take 15. So I just keep this organised in the same organiser, but I also have a daily alarm that goes off at 8 p.m. every night as that's when I take my warfarin because it's advised that you take it at the same time every day. So tip number 2, summed up, good pill storage, a pill organiser and regular alarms. As a little extra, I do also keep a spreadsheet where I keep a record of what doses I'm on. I keep a record of my INR results and when I'm next due to go for a blood test. Tip number 3, a smartwatch. This might not be for everyone, but I already had a Fitbit before being diagnosed. It wasn't something that I was hugely into using around cardio exercise and things like that. I initially got it when I still lived at home and worked in an office all the time because it gives you those reminders to move and get up and walk around and tracks your steps, and that's basically why I got it the first time. Since going through the PE, I'm really into what my heart rate is up to when I'm just doing daily tasks throughout the day and when I'm doing exercise. So last year there happened to be a deal on Fitbits just after all this happened, so I got a new one, the Charge 4. It's not overly bulky, it's comfortable to wear because I leave it on all the time when I'm sleeping and all throughout the day. and it does heart rate, your steps, your breathing rate, your sleep, has a period map for the girls. But I'm not here to advertise this particular one or brand or anything like that. There's plenty of fitness trackers and smartwatches out there on the market. But the thing I just like about what they do is tracking the heart rate, and you can kind of see when you spike doing certain things and why you might be feeling more fatigued when you don't feel like you're overly exhausting yourself. Sometimes you might be doing something that's so basic and you're just wondering why you're fatiguing. I do this sometimes when I'm at work. I'll just be walking around the brewery and then I'll just start to feel tired. Haven't done anything overly exhaustive, but I'll check my heart rate and it'll be over 120. And then I always ask my colleague who's there, who also has a smartwatch, and her heart rate is usually around the 70s or lower. So that just kind of lets you know that you are feeling tired for a reason and you're internally working harder than most people. Tip number 4, a support network or person. It's important not to go through any kind of recovery alone. I'm really lucky that I have my fiance who I live with, and he's my best friend, and he can be there for every appointment and is a part of this whole journey. But having anyone in your life who can reach out and be supportive with you is really important. I also thought of calling this an Accountabilibuddy, good old South Park reference there. But it's basically someone that you can confide in, who will check in on you to see if you're doing okay. If you want to go for a walk around the block just to get you moving, maybe they'll ask you how you're doing, how your last appointments have gone. Maybe they can go to your appointments with you, offer you a ride if you need one, or just lend an ear so that they can listen to you about what's going on for you. If you feel like you don't have anyone in your life that you can do those things with or reach out to, then there's a wealth of support online. It will differ depending where you are in the world, but a lot of the time it's an international cause, so you can join from wherever you are, and I'll put some links in the description below. And this ties into my last top tip, number 5, which is online learning and sharing experiences. As I just mentioned, there are so many online forums where you can interact with people and get like-minded support. There are multiple Facebook groups where people are posting constantly about their experiences and asking for advice around things that they are currently going through. No medical advice, obviously, it's not a forum for you to go and get diagnosed or anything like that, but hearing other people's experiences and how they were treated really does help. There's multiple Reddit threads about it. There's online forums like Inspire and Instagrams. Any platform that you're on, you're going to find some sort of resource to use and find someone that you can relate to. Getting online and learning through people's experiences is a great thing because you see firsthand how other people have dealt with it and how they've been treated. On top of that, there is also a wealth of information on medical websites such as the NHS if you're in the UK, or WebMD or Healthline, so many different places. I've learned so much from being online, making these videos, reading those websites, interacting with people on Facebook and Reddit through sharing experiences and asking questions. So if you're ever at that point and you feel like you're the only one feeling a certain way, then just go and find some sort of online group and read through some of the posts. You don't even have to interact, because I really do believe that they will help and you will find somebody out there who is going through the same thing that you are. So that's my first top 5 tips from being in recovery from PE. Keep a record of how you are, keep an eye on your pains and how difficult certain tasks are. Get organised with your medication. Have a smartwatch or a fitness tracker and keep an eye on your heart rate. Have a support network or person, just someone around you who you can confide in and who will check on you and keep you moving. And get online, start learning and sharing your experiences with other people. There's one last one I want to throw in right at the end here, and that is about just carrying on living your life and not letting this determine what you can and can't do. I was told last summer that I shouldn't mountain bike, and then as it turned into winter, I was told I shouldn't ski. But I've done both of those things because you can't let it kind of ruin those experiences for you of things that actually get you outside and motivate you to get better. So take the precautions, be extra careful, cover yourself in protective gear and make sure you're always with someone, but don't let it ruin those fun experiences for you. I hope it helped and it's given you some ideas of how you can improve your recovery experience. As always, I thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more content and hit that like button if you found this very useful. All the support that I get from anyone from liking, subscribing and commenting is really appreciated. Please feel free to share the videos wherever you feel they might be useful, and I'll see you soon. Bye!